Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program, assessing the threat of the Wuhan coronavirus outbreak and the government's response.
We have to wait for the WHO.
Helping Taal-affected residents get back on their feet.
Mangiyak-ngiyak dahil bilang taong pinag-ipunan na yun.
Also, additional taxes on alcohol and e-cigarettes.
That's a package that will bring in estimated revenues of around 15.8 billion.
And reviewing the termination process for the Visiting Forces Agreement with the United States.
I will terminate the base's Visiting Forces Agreement.
House Ways and Means Committee Chairman and Albay Representative Joey Salceda joins us live. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pinky Webb. The Health Department is closely monitoring persons under investigation for the suspected Wuhan coronavirus, but health officials hope that the country will remain novel coronavirus-free. Also, affected residents return to their homes after the alert level in Taal volcano has been downgraded. But how should the government proceed in the recovery and rehabilitation of affected areas? Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have House Ways and Means Committee Chairman and Albay Representative Joey Salceda. Congressman, good to see you again.
Yeah, hi.
Let's talk about first the coronavirus, sir. Positive news, still no confirmed cases here
good.
in the Philippines. Although ang daming lumalabas na mga bali-balita on social media, sinasabi nga ng mga officials, let's be careful about spreading these information.
IEC dapat. Lalo-lalo sa local government.
What should we do?
IEC, Information, Education, and Communication.
Right.
So, dapat kasi hindi lang yung DOH ang talking head. Dapat nakakascade po yan sa local. Kasi there are responsible officers for the communities. Like, for example, in Legazpi, meron dong rule na lahat na pumasok na hindi taga doon, nililista. So, mas madali ang contact tracing. So, in other words, some local government units, we are more prepared than others. But generally, it's good enough na wala po. Like, sabi nga, di ba, sabi niyan, nag-lock out na sila.
Lockdown sa Wuhan.
So,
transport lockdown.
wala akong mawawala kung mag-lock out tayo.
Yeah, you know, I wanted...
Sabayan natin ang policy of lockout.
But that's what I wanted to ask you because when we go back, sir, it was, I think, Thursday nang mag-impose ng lockdown ng Wuhan. The day before that, I remember, sir, that Congressman Rufy Biazon tweeted na it should be time not to allow the direct flights from Wuhan coming. So Wednesday night yun. Thursday morning, nag-lockdown na ang Wuhan. Could we have done this earlier, even before Wuhan implemented a transport lockdown?
Oo. Pero dapat kasi yung mga protocols kung ano-ano. Pero nung local government official kasi ako na magkaroon ng SARS at saka yung sa Saudi, yung MERS-CoV, parang hindi ko nakita yan as one of the policy tools, yung lockdown, lockout. So I think we are in fact advancing the tools, the instruments of government to really control or contain it.
Yeah, but you have to remember, sir, that the origin of the Wuhan, the coronavirus is in Wuhan.
Yeah.
We were bringing in, ferrying people from Wuhan, direct flights from Wuhan.
Tourists.
Opo, to the Philippines. That's why nung Thursday, dun po nag-umpisa. Actually, may nakapasok pa.
Oo, sa
na pasahero sa Aklan.
Bohol ata.
And Aklan, sir.
Aklan.
Tapos pinabalik there were 3 flights. I think it was a Friday, a Saturday, and Sunday possibly na pinabalik po sila doon. What do you think, now that we're still zero, sir, what do you think government can still do?
I think basically nga sabi ko kailangan mas malalim po yung IEC nila sa local government officials. Kasi pinakikinggan din sila ng komunidad para yung mga matrace kagad natin kung sakasakali po may nakalusot o may nagdala tapos ano ba yung incubation period niyan? I don't know the incubation period.
Paiba-iba, sir. Some were saying 2 to 10 days. Noong una sinabi na hindi ka maahawa kung nasa incubation period, and then there was a Chinese health minister, sir, I think that said, pwede kang mahawaan kahit wala pang symptoms.
We should use, kasi nung nagkaroon ng MERS, ng MERS-CoV, at saka nung SARS, I was governor. So we took that as essentially, ang approach namin is use yung PDRMC methodology, or we use that yung methodology as if it was a disaster, and therefore we have to institute precautionary measures.
So treat it as if it's a disaster.
Yes.
But isn't
Like
that...
impending volcanic eruption.
Okay. Pero hindi ho ba yun baka sabihin...
Panic.
Opo.
In fact, you're doing something more systematic and orderly, and that institutes public confidence in the authorities. Na alam mong ginagawa mo, alam nila kung anong approach.
Mas mabuting ganun.
Oo.
Medyo over the
Kaysa
top.
naman nagre-rely ang mga tao sa mga, alam mo, punong-puno na ako ng mga ang tawag dyan, mga message, sa mga messenger, ang umiikot talaga.
Yeah.
So, uminom ka ng 30 liters of water a day or whatever. But generally, it should be science-based, and therefore, it is really one instance where the authority or yung atipong gobyerno can use its authority really to confront. So, pero yes.
Maliban po sa pagtap and information dissemination and tapping the local government units, what else are
As
you...
I said, use the NDRMC. Basically, kasi it's a whole of government approach. It's a whole of society approach. So
It's not just the Department of Health.
Yes, just DOH.
Yeah. You know why, sir? Because there are so many posts at bali-balita na lumalabas na dito sa isang ospital. I don't know if you were getting those, sir.
Oo,
and another one in
puno-puno
another
ako eh.
hospital. Hindi ho
Oo,
ba?
opa.
Secretary Duque was here yesterday and I had to ask him one by one, ito hong dito sa ospital, totoo ho ba
That's
to?
good. So,
eh, ganun, di ba?
dininay niya lahat.
Yes, sir. But there are a number still being observed. Tinatawag po silang persons under investigation.
Investigations.
All right. So that's what needs to be done. I want to move on to Taal. Residents now finally allowed to return home. A congressman except those living within the 7-kilometer danger zone. Doon po sa mga hindi pa makakauwi, ano ho ang dapat i-focus muna ng gobyerno? Doon po sa hindi pa pwedeng umuwi.
Well, ang principle niyan, we are actually, meron po kayo a whole guidance or guidelines for IDPs or mga internally displaced persons. So, nandun naman po, it's as if na there are risks. So, and therefore, yung pagkain, yung tubig, yung lahat, yung mga usual po na mga basic needs po nila dapat ma-attend. Pero I listed all my notes from the 2006, 2009, 2014, and 2018 Mayon eruptions, and I essentially kung ano. Unang-una, the decampment should be the systematic and orderly. So basically, one, may risk pa. So may alert level 3, so pwede yan umakyat ulit ng 4. Second, na dapat last in, first out. Yung huling pumasok sa evacuation, yun dapat unahin kasi yung pinakauna, yun ang pinakamaraming risk.
Yun ang pinakadelikado supposed to be. Yeah.
Yung
Okay.
definitely, hindi pwede pa uwiin yung 7. Pang-apat, kailangan po, siguraduhin yun may bahay na uwian, baka nasira. Pang-lima, dapat po yung tubig kasi most likely contaminated po yung tubig doon ng asphalt. Kailangan po, hindi basta-basta po uwi tapos hindi mo alam po yung water quality po. So there are there are already systems. So, para dun sa mga evacuees na pinauwi, dapat po, you should clean the classrooms. Pasalamat po kayo sa teachers. At saka sa mga host communities, kasi dito intertown, like Mayon, di ba napunta ka doon? Yung Daraga evacuees, nasa Daraga din. Pero dito, yung mga San Nicolas, Talisay, because the entire town were locked down, so they had to go to other towns. So, and these towns, you did not elect them. Diba? So may konting goodwill doon. So pag umuwi po kami, pag pinapauwi na po dapat po assistant po. Kung sino po ang nagsundo, siya po ang maghatid. Kasi nga po para ma-establish po yung trust and confidence ng mga evacuees kasi this will be hindi naman to huli. So in other words, the risk still persists. You cannot transfer Taal volcano to the Pacific Ocean. So, kasi nakikita ko hindi na nila ina-assist eh. So, dapat i-assist po nila yan.
And who's supposed to be on top of that? Is it supposed to be the governor?
Yeah, it should be the provincial government because pag isang barangay, BDRMO, pag dalawang barangay, MDRMO, Pag more than one LGU, dapat PDRM. Pag more than two provinces, dapat RDRM. In this case, naka-focus po 90% basic except for Tagaytay.
Yeah.
Is Batangas. So pag pauwi, pinapabaunan namin po sila. Kasi 2 linggo po silang sinira namin yung kanilang, hindi nakapagbukas yung kanilang sari-sari store, hindi po nila gamit yung tricycle, so wala ko silang income.
Right,
So dapat may starter, so to speak.
So, but doon po sa mga nakauwi na, that begins, sir, what is called, kasi the first stage will always be relief, hindi ho ba? And then the next stage would have to be rehabilitation. Sa dami ho siguro ng kailangan.
Meron pa isa sa gitna, lifeline restoration. So basically, kailangan ma-repair yung bahay. So kailangan cash for work. Masyadong overwhelming po yung relief operation po ng buong bansa unang-una kasi fresh na fresh po yung mga budget. At saka kahit yung mga CSRs, masigasig. Hanggang ngayon po may nagdadala ng pagkain. So ang kailangan nila cash. So para ma-repair yung bahay. So DSWD, mayroon po sila niyan.
Yeah, but the cash goes to where?
To the guy who repairs his own house.
Aha.
We pay them. Actually, we do that. Meron kayo dito 280 per day para po ayusin nyo yung bahay nyo.
Yun ang cash for work.
Cash for work. And then you have TUPAD, essentially para linisin po yung community facilities like yung mga drainage canal, etc.
Yeah, you talked about just 2 things before we're gonna break, sir. Sabi mo, syempre, importante yung bahay. Pagka umuwi ka, sana makauwi ka sa bahay na malinis at safe. More than anything, it has to be safe. But also, something very basic is tubig.
Yes.
Kailangan, sabi mo nga, sir, malinis ang
Doon ako
tubig.
natatakot actually. Kasi pag bila nilang pauwi, hindi ko alam, baka mamayaan yung may mga waterborne diseases. Yun po ang maging source ng, basically, risk to life and, to health.
And that needs to be focused on right now.
Sa ganitong sitwasyon, yes.
Okay.
Kasi biglaan din pinauwi.
We'll be taking a short break. We're going to talk about higher taxes for alcohol and e-cigarettes. Congressman Joey Salceda will still be with us. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, Congressman Joey Salceda. Congressman, let's talk about Volcano Island.
Yes.
Yun mismo. Papaano kaya yung mga tao doon? Alam natin sa ngayon, no man's land siya. At ang sinasabi, hindi napapayagan ang mga taong bumalik doon eventually. I mean, they can't really go back right now. But we're talking about what? Possibly 4,000 people, sir?
No, 7,000.
7,000 people na walang tirahan.
To define no man's land, that means no human activity allowed. So any form you're thinking. So basically po, remember, doon lalagay yung hotel ng Koreano. You can just imagine the kind of disaster. It's good enough somebody rescued us from a policy disaster. So ang kailangan any rehabilitation to the impacts of Taal eruption. The first item would always be the relocation of the 7,000 residents.
How difficult is it? I mean,
It's difficult.
Let's be frank, sir. Saan dadalhin yung 7,000 ngayon?
Hanap ka po ng lupa, public land, yung mga LGUs, basically, bibigyan ng gobyerno. But in this case, I think mas maganda ibigay mo sa LGU. May mga lupa po silang pag-aari.
Tsaka alam nila.
Bigyan mo ng pera ng OCD, malaki pa naman po yung So hindi naman kasi sumabog talaga. So kailangan, o NHA, kaso pag sa NHA, ang tagal eh. Ang ginawa namin sa Albay, binigay namin sa kanila yung pera.
And?
Sila po ang gumawa ng bahay nila.
Sila maghanap ng...
Hindi, pero yung lote, dapat talaga safe. Hindi natin pwedeng bigyan ng pera tapos hahanap sila. Baka yung lote yung pipiliin nila, unsafe.
How much money did you give a family of what? Possibly 4?
Yung umabot po kami ng 175,000. Pero 2006 yun. So, 2007, 2008
So,
yun.
yung 175,000, that would probably be
I
worth
would
how
say
much
na
now?
sa ngayon mga 400,000 per family. So, it's very... At saka importante, dapat 15 minutes nata-tricycle po. Para you don't have to provide livelihood opportunities. Kasi pag nasa urban, one indicator na nasa within urban, is kaya mong i-tricycle po yung
there's life 15 minutes after kung saan ka nakatira.
Sino-
Pero kung yung Volcano Island mismo, yan ba in the future talagang no human activity? Is that how you see it? Wala na po yan. Hindi na pwedeng pasukin.
Well, right now, nag-overcompensate tayo dahil may tao doon, pumutok siyempre. But I think eventually, there can be certain protocols, pero dapat talaga well-trained at talaga yung ating pong some kind of government authority there who could control
Yeah.
the movement of people inside.
So you're seeing that
Kasi
posible
pag alert 0 yan, pwede kang pumasok.
nasa 1 no?
Ay, nasa 2.
Yeah.
Ay, 3 ngayon.
No, I mean, nung una, bago
Oh,
sumabog,
one
sir,
siya.
it was on 1 for about 10 months bago sumabog. So you're saying pwedeng balikan, basta
Pag
nasa
alert
0?
0. Alert 0.
Okay. Pwede pa siya muling bisitahin.
Yeah, because alert Bulusan is alert 0.
Yeah.
So there are no risk.
But are you still recommending
No.
people living there? So just for tourist attraction?
Katulad sa amin, may 6-kilometer permanent danger zone kami. So ang protocol is, pag nasa 2, hindi na sila pwede pong, basically, at all instances, bawal po matulog doon. Pero yung mga these are very fertile lands, and,
Yeah.
you know, tapos...
Yun nga po sinasabi nila eh.
Yeah, so, nandun po, maganda po yung, ano ba yung kinakain po ng mga animals. So basically, goods for vegetable as well as
Right.
for raising of, for livestock.
Congressman, let's switch topics on sin taxes. Additional taxes will be imposed on alcohol and e-cigarettes.
Retro.
Oo nga, sa litro,
January,
no?
no, retro to
Sorry.
January 1.
Oh,
Yes.
I see. Yun nga, yun ang tanong ko. When will this begin?
January 1.
Ayun na po. So, nag-umpisa na. Let's put this up just so we know which ones are actually gonna be taxed. Yung wine po, I thought you said per litro. Per liter, we're looking at a 50 peso per liter increase ito po in 2020 and an increase of 6% every year thereafter.
Wala man yan eh. Dapat doon talaga sinagat kasi mayayaman lang yan eh.
Ang nag-wine.
Pero kaso it's so small eh. Wala pa 1 billion. Kinikita natin dyan eh. Oo.
Okay.
And
And the next...
nakaka-afford lang ng steak ang nagwa-wine eh.
Bagay dun sa steak and wine. What about fermented liquor,
Yes.
Congressman? What is fermented liquor?
Beer. So actually 70% lahat nasa beer.
Ayun. Ang presyo niyan. So what are we looking at? 35 pesos
yes.
tax per liter.
Yes.
Okay.
So kalimbawa yung yung Red Horse na 1 liter from 87 magiging 97. So 10 pesos. Yung halimbawa yung Red Horse beering can from na 330 from 43 magiging 46.
Aha.
Yung ating pong San Miguel, yung Pale Pilsen, yung pinaka standard from 34 to 37.
Okay.
Tapos yung Heineken, ito po
Imported.
sa Asia Brewery from 51 to
Hindi. Tama,
yung
sorry.
Asia
Yeah.
Brewery. Yung mga Alcopops, ito talaga ako hindi masyadong kumbisido sa ginawa namin.
Ano yun, sir?
Ito po, yung mga ito talaga yung pinakamalaking ito po yung ginagawa po ng limtwa ko. Yan po yung para nakasachet.
Kasi, the beer?
Oo, na mayroon po siyang mayroon po siyang distilled mayroon po
I
silang alcohol content eh.
I
The
see.
Alcopops.
So it's from 25 to
25, 60.
03 to 25.65.
Yes.
Okay.
So, wala. Kaya, nabuhisit ako dito ng konti. Kaso nandun, it's, so, katulad
yun ang
halimbawa
beer.
sa MP Lights from 95 to 105, 104.
But don't forget, that's just for the first year, which is 2020. Hindi ho ba?
May 6% ka every other.
Yeah, pataas siya ng pataas. So don't
Opo.
think that it's just for 2020. That's still going to increase in 2021
So from
and
20
2022.
billion this year, magiging 23 billion siya next year. Tapos, without, sa HTP naman, yun ang maganda, yung sa e-cigarette, 1.8 billion kikitain this year, 2 billion next year.
Let's show that first, Congressman, yung sa heated tobacco products. We also have that
Yes.
on graphics, sir. So when you talk about heated tobacco products, yan po yung tinatawag na vape.
Yes.
At may isa pa ho yung
IQOS.
IQOS.
Yes.
Okay, so
I used to do it.
Yung IQOS.
Then suddenly, marami lumabas sa US na mga... So sabi ko, tinigilan ko
Questioning
na lang.
that. So, sir, ang mangyayari po niyan, ang kanyang, in 2020, these heated tobacco products will be charged an extra 25 pesos.
Yes, that's right.
Tapos, after the 25 pesos in 2021, another 27.50,
Yes.
ganun ho ba?
Magiging 27.50 na siya.
So parang from plus 2 pesos and 50
Yeah, 2.50
cents.
lang.
I see. And then in 2022, it's going to be 30 pesos.
Inahabol kasi namin yung 45 pesos sa mga regular na mga cigarettes.
That's why stinaggered yung muna.
Opa.
Okay. And then yung conventional free-base nicotine, what is this, sir?
Sana may picture ako eh. Pero actually, it's very small. The smallest portion of the industry. Eh.
Okay.
Ang maganda po dyan, yung basically yung Juuls, saka yung IQOS.
Opo.
Yung Juuls kasi para may nilalagay kang yosi.
Opo.
Tapos that's the tobacco. And then the machine heats it up and
Right.
it produces the smoke. The other one is basically the most popular, which is Juuls, where you have that juice.
Opo.
Then you put it
nilalagay nyo,
yes,
yeah, for the flavor.
Yeah, for the flavor.
Yun po yun ang free-base nicotine.
No, that's salt NIC.
Salt nicotine.
Yes.
That's what it's called. So salt nicotine will be added 37 pesos in 2020.
Yes.
Tapos that 37 becomes 42 in
Kaya
2020.
inahabol namin yung 45.
Again, the 45. All right. And then we just talked about the conventional free base.
So basically, yung
nicotine.
HTP is 1.8 billion sila. Yung HTPs is 100 billion. Yung salt NIC is 1.6. And the free base is 0.1. So basically, yung gumagamit po ng juice, yung yung po talagang pinakamalaking market.
Yun ang
1.6 out of the 1.8 billion.
All right. But there's good news also here. Of course, government says that's good news because that'll help, supposed to be, discourage the public from, smoking and possibly drinking. But there will be some medicines also that will be VAT exempt. We'll be talking about that after the break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, Congressman Joey Salceda. I was asking Congressman Salceda during the break, how do you guard against smugglers of, for example, e-cigarettes, sir?
We have plenty of safeguards put in. Basically, we have a new a more powerful committee on excisable products, on illicit trade of excisable products.
Yung po tinatawag, excisable products.
Ito po yung mga may excise kasi.
Congressman, also medicine that will be VAT exempt. There
Yes.
are certain medicines that will be VAT exempt by 2020.
Hypertension, high cholesterol, and then diabetes on the first 3 years.
Okay.
And then on the next 3 years, you have kidney, cancer, TB, mental illness. So sa first 3 years, yung tatlong medicine, 5.2. Then by 2023, na 9.2 billion ang mababawas sa kita ng
Ang mababawas, right, because it will be VAT exempt. So parang it kind of, kung anong kinita nyo dito, tinanggalan nyo naman dun sa mga gamot na kailangan ng tao.
Yes.
All right. Anything else, sir, that we should know about excise taxes?
Bakit namin ginawa to? Unang-una, yung binge drinking ng mga babae, natakot kami.
What happened, sir?
Dahil ng 2015, yung mga babae at lalaki halos pantay na. Ang walwalan.
Ano yun? Ang pag-inom?
It's called walwal, yes.
Okay.
Yung
ang inuman, pareho ang
drink
lalaki.
till you drop.
Okay.
So, that binge drinking. And then, of course, nasa top 10 na po ng causes of death ang accidents. And half of the accidents come from drinking. And then, there are more deaths from alcohol than smoking.
More
Yes.
deaths from alcohol than smoking among the younger population.
Yes, ito. Nakita mo yung orange, that's smoking, and the blue one is.
I see.
So, kasi mas longitudinal po yung bakit po namin ginawa to? It's more because of this. And then, deaths caused by alcohol. Ayan, 50%. Ayan.
Okay.
So, lahat ng aksidente po, most likely kalahati yan.
Because of ano?
Tapos, violence against women and children. 20% lahat po ng violence against women is kung sila po lasing. Most likely po, kung lasing. Lalong-lalo na globally, Pag nagdi-date, 20% ng violence is because they're drunk. And physical violence at home, 42% is when they're drunk. And of course.
Wow.
So essentially, mas yun po. Kasi in other words, kahit mas zero pa yan ang revenues, pero mga 19 billion naman po ang matitipid natin dahil po sa accidents alone. Kasi ang laki po talaga ng impact sa ekonomiya ng mga aksidente, sa manpower loss, mga productivity losses.
Alright.
Pati po yung healthcare na kailangan natin. So, in short, the optimal revenue from sin taxes is zero because the net welfare gain to the economy and to families and individuals is actually huge.
If you were to summarize or siguro put together, sir, magkano kikitain in 2020 sa sin taxes on
22
alcohol?
billion.
22 billion
Yes.
pesos during the first year of its implementation. Congressman Joey Salceda, sir, maraming salamat po
Maraming
sa inyo.
salamat
Thank you.
din.
Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.